It's my word against her word. Who wins? Is it the homeowner or the house cleaner? We get to answer that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com. This is a website that partners homeowners with house cleaners. And if you have to replace your house cleaner, and maybe sometime you will, you can find that person on housecleaning360.com. So housecleaning360.com. All right, on to today's show. We have a homeowner who asks this question.
My housekeeper I've had since January. I paid her $20 an hour and she worked independently. I've paid her cash, checks on a few occasions, and she's now saying that I owe her $640, of which the days that she said she worked, she in fact did not. I think she worked too slow and she was too old for what she was doing. However, I continued to pay her until enough came enough. I would have company and people wouldn't even know that I had a house cleaner. She texts me saying that I owe her $640 and that my money went towards taking care of her disabled brother in Mexico. I do not owe her $640. How do I defend myself? Is it my word against her word?
All righty, that is a great question, and I hate the answer. The answer is that for both of you, there was a mismanagement of communication. So however that happened, however long it's been going on, whoever's fault it is, does not matter. What matters is right now the end result is she says you owe her $600 and you say you do not. So it's your word against her word. So yikes. All right, let's back up a step. If I were to send you to the store for a loaf of bread and you go, yeah, I got it, and you go to the store for a loaf of bread, what happens when you get to the store? What happens is you're going to run into this ginormous aisle of bread. And you're going to stand there and scratch your head and say, well, did she want white bread or wheat bread? Did she want 7-grain bread or did she want a kind with no crust? Was she thinking about pita bread or was she talking about these little Hot Pocket breads? Wait a minute, did she want bread from the bakery that's unsliced and in one great big loaf, or did she want bread from the bakery that was sliced and in a bag, right? You've got so many different variables. And you don't know, did I want to spend $1 on bread or did I want $7 artisan bread, right? I did not specify what kind of bread I wanted. So now you're standing in the aisle of the bread at the grocery store, scratching your head, and you want to do right by me. So what do you buy? A whole bunch of different kinds of bread? Or do you just make a guess at what kind of bread I want? Do you text me and call me? Like, what happens next? Now, the reason I bring this scenario is because it's very similar to house cleaning. You say, I would like house cleaning, which is like saying, I would like a loaf of bread. And the house cleaner comes in and says, well, I can do that. That's what I do. I clean. It's like the baker saying, sure, I can make you a loaf of bread. But if you don't specify what kind of bread you want, when you show up to pick up your bread and you think you're buying 7-grain wheat bread, and you get there and he's giving you a bag of Hot Pockets, you're going to say, well, that's not at all what I asked for. Because in your mind, somewhere along the way, there was something you were going to use the bread for. So the bread has to look a certain way, right? If you're going to make sandwiches, it can't be little tiny mini pitas. If that's not what you're looking for, if you're looking for regular bread that fits inside your toaster, you need to specify that. All right, now having said that, when a house cleaner comes to your house and they do a walkthrough, oftentimes they're looking to you for clues. What is important in your house? Kind of like, what kind of bread do you want? You want the kind with the seeds on top, or do you want the kind that's pre-cut, right? It's like asking those kinds of questions. Do you have rooms of your house that you use more often? Do you have rooms of the house that you never use at all? Do you want to include this in the total price, or do you want me to rotate through the house every other week on these other rooms that we don't touch very often? Now, on this particular scenario, I don't know what happened. You're saying that the house cleaner cleaned, but she was slow. If she was slow, but she still did the job, did she earn the money? And so why do you owe her the money? Was this just random money that you owed her? Was this money she was expecting for an upsell? Did she suggest an upsell and you agreed to it, but there was no price that was agreed on? Lots of things could have malfunctioned, and something did malfunction. We know something malfunctioned because she thinks you owe her $600 and you don't think you owe her anything, right? So there's this huge mismanagement of expectations and guidelines and agreements. So my suggestion to you as a homeowner would be, and we're very specific about this with the house cleaners, but let me be very specific about this with you. When you have a house cleaner come to your house and give you a bid, know exactly what you want. In your head, know how much money you're willing to spend. And so if you say, in my mind, I'm only willing to spend $200 per cleaning, and they come and say it's going to be $300 per cleaning, you can say that does not fit into my budget. What can I remove, or what can I shift around, or what can be rotated so I can get the price back down to my budget? Because all house cleaning is negotiable. And so if you're adding in all of these extra things and it's boosted the price, but the price doesn't fit into what you're willing to pay, you need to come back down on your expectations and say, okay, remove all of the window cleaning from what I suggested, or remove all of the whatever it is and pick out things that are not as important to you to remove from the regular maintenance cleaning. And then that way they can get down to a price that fits into your budget. Once you've determined that, and once you both know exactly what kind of bread you're buying or what kind of bread you've asked for, then you can get very specific on the price, the day, the time, and what the expectations are. Then if she doesn't live up to those expectations, then whether or not you pay her is more understandable, right? She can't come and say, you owe me all this money if she's done all the tasks that you guys agreed on. And if she didn't do those tasks, can you prove it? And by proof, I mean she needs to prove that she did. We recommend that house cleaners have a worksheet that they work from so that they're checking off on a cleaning basis what exactly they did today while they were at your house. That is what activates their satisfaction guarantee. So if you are not satisfied with the work that they did, you either need to call and have her come back and re-clean, or you say, okay, these items were not met. We agreed on these items. You said you would clean these items. You did not clean these items. Therefore, I am not obligated to pay you, right? If you understand the rules and she understands the rules, then you both have a working agreement. But if there is no working agreement and you're winging it and she's winging it, then all kinds of chaos ensues, right? Both agreements fall apart. And then you start getting to this feeling like, well, you know, she's too slow and she's too old and she didn't do a very good job. And then she's like, oh, you owe me more money and I need this for family reasons and whatever. That's good. You're both in the right. But without those agreements in place, you're both in the wrong. Does that make sense? So I'm not trying to be ugly. What I'm trying to say is it's got to be very clear. So I'm going to encourage you to go back to the drawing board. And if you have to let her go, let her go. Please work this out among the two of you. If you owe her the money, please pay it. If you don't owe her the money, please explain why you don't owe her the money so that she just doesn't think you ripped her off. And then please, whatever you do, on the next time when you hire a new cleaner, make sure that the agreements are very clear so that you're not disappointed and so that the house cleaner knows, what kind of bread am I supposed to buy when I'm standing there in the bakery and I'm just scratching my head looking around at all the thousands of options? Because as house cleaners, we have so many decisions we have to make at every single clean. This is here and it wasn't here last time. Do I pick it up? Do I move it? Do I vacuum around it? There are so many decisions. And the clearer you make your expectations up front, I'm not saying every single time renegotiate, but up front on that initial walkthrough, the happier your house cleaner will be and the happier you will be as a homeowner. All right, I hope that helps a little bit. If it does, please pass it on to a friend. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.